Change of plans. The kid's dad will be joining us on the trip. You understand, right? I'm John Harper, and those 20 words from my wife Maya just ended 8 years of my life. I stared at my phone screen in my corner office, the quarterly report forgotten on my desk. Outside, the city hummed with Friday afternoon energy, people rushing toward their weekends, their families, their lives. I had been one of them once. Excited, hopeful, stupid. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. 1,000 responses flooded my mind. I could ask why. I could beg her to reconsider. I could remind her that I paid for every damn ticket, every hotel room, every meal she'd be eating on that East Coast trip. I could tell her that Eric Donovan, the kid's dad, hadn't contributed a single dollar to Lily and Tyler's lives in the 9 years since he walked out. Not one birthday present. Not one child support payment. Nothing. But I didn't type any of that. Instead, I wrote 2 words, enjoy your trip. I hit send and leaned back in my leather chair, the one I bought after my last promotion, the one Maya said was too expensive until I reminded her that my salary paid for literally everything in our lives. A smile crept across my face and I caught my reflection in my computer monitor. It wasn't the smile of a broken man. It wasn't defeat. It was something else entirely. Something cold and clear and final. My phone buzzed again. Probably her, surprised I didn't fight back. I didn't look. Instead, I opened my laptop and created a new document. I titled it The Shutdown Protocol and started typing. The game had just begun. Please, before I continue, kindly like, share and subscribe for more interesting videos. My email pinged 30 seconds later. Not Maya. Better. It was the airline confirmation I'd been waiting for. Thank you for your purchase, John Harper. Flight details enclosed. I clicked it open, already knowing what I'd find, but needing to see it in black and white anyway. There it was. Charged to my Visa ending in 4782. $4,216. Flights for 4 people from Newark to Charleston, South Carolina. 5 nights at the Bellman Charleston place. I'd booked it 3 months ago when Maya said the kids needed a real vacation, and that we should make memories as a family. I'd worked overtime for 2 weeks straight to afford it. I scrolled down to the passenger list, my jaw tightening with each line. Passenger 1, Maya Harper. Passenger 2, Eric Donovan. Passenger 3, Lily Donovan, age 9. Passenger 4, Tyler Donovan, age 7. My name existed only on the billing section. John Harper, the walking wallet. The credit card with a heartbeat. I wasn't family anymore. I was infrastructure. I was the invisible hand that made Maya's life possible while she pretended I didn't exist. Eric Donovan. The man who knocked up Maya at 23 and vanished before Tyler was born. The man who'd missed every birthday, every Christmas, every parent-teacher conference for 9 years. The man Maya called a deadbeat and a coward when she needed me to feel like the hero. Now he was passenger 2 on my dime. I took a screenshot, saved it to a new folder titled Evidence. Then I opened my Notes app and began typing the list. Item 1, credit cards. Item 2, streaming services. Item 3, phone plan. Item 4, car insurance. Item 5, lease termination. I had 36 hours before they boarded that plane. Time to dismantle everything. I leaned back and closed my eyes, and the memories came flooding in like water through a cracked dam. 8 years ago, I met Maya at a coffee shop in downtown Newark. She was frazzled, beautiful, exhausted. 2 kids hanging off her arms, both crying about something. Her card declined for a $12 order. I was behind her in line. I paid. She looked at me with these wide, grateful eyes and said, "You're a lifesaver." That should have been it. A random act of kindness. But I asked for her number. She gave it to me. 3 dates later, I learned about Eric. The absent father. The broken promises. The child support checks that never came. She worked 2 jobs, survived on 4 hours of sleep, and somehow kept those kids fed and clothed and loved. I admired her strength. I fell hard. 6 months in, I moved them into my apartment. She cried when I handed her the keys. Said I was nothing like Eric, that I was a real man, that she'd never met anyone so generous. I believed her. God, I wanted to believe her. By year 2, she'd quit both jobs. The kids need me home, she said. I agreed. I wanted to be the provider. The protector. I worked 50, 60, 70-hour weeks. I climbed the corporate ladder. Every raise went into our life. Better apartment. Better car. Dance classes for Lily. Soccer for Tyler. Family dinners at restaurants Maya chose. Vacations I planned and paid for while she posted the photos and collected the compliments. But sitting here now, staring at that passenger list, I realized something that made my stomach turn. She never said, "I love you" without needing something first. Not once in 8 years. Every declaration of love was a transaction. "I love you, can you cover Lily's field trip?" "I love you, Tyler needs new cleats." "I love you, I saw this purse." I opened my banking app and scrolled back. 8 years of statements. Rent, groceries, utilities, insurance, clothes, toys, restaurants, vacations. My deposits. My money. Her spending. I started printing everything. I picked up my phone and dialed the credit card company. A cheerful representative answered. "Thank you for calling, how can I help you today?" I kept my voice steady, professional. "I need to remove an authorized user from my account immediately." There was a pause, some keyboard clicking. "May I ask the reason for the removal, Mr. Harper?" I looked at Maya's text again on my screen. "Fraud prevention," I said. The word tasted like justice. Within 15 minutes, Maya's card was deactivated. I imagined her at the airport tomorrow, standing at some overpriced coffee kiosk, ordering her usual vanilla latte with extra foam, handing over the card with that casual confidence she always had when spending my money. I imagined the cashier swiping it once, twice, then looking up apologetically. "I'm sorry ma'am, this card has been declined." The confusion on Maya's face. The embarrassment as people lined up behind her. Eric standing there, probably not offering to pay because Eric never paid for anything. I didn't feel guilty. I felt lighter. Like I'd been carrying a backpack full of stones for 8 years and finally set it down. My phone buzzed. A text from Maya. "Just landed in Charleston. The hotel looks amazing. Thank you baby red heart," the heart emoji. She always used it when she wanted something or had just gotten something. Never just because. I deleted the message and pulled up my subscription management. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max, Spotify Premium, YouTube Premium. $47 a month so Maya could binge-watch reality TV while I worked. I clicked through each one methodically. Cancel subscription. Confirm cancellation. Yes, I'm sure. The dopamine hit was real. Each click felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. Next up, the phone plan. I dialed the carrier. "I need to remove 3 lines from my family plan." The customer service rep sounded young, probably working his first job out of college. "Just to confirm, Mr. Harper, you want to remove lines ending in 7834, 9021, and 4455? Those were Maya's phone and both kids' phones. I'd gotten them phones last year when Maya insisted Lily needed one for safety. Safety. Right. Lily used hers to watch TikTok and Tyler played games on his. "That's correct," I said. "When will this take effect?" "Within the next hour, sir. The removed lines will lose service and the devices will only work on Wi-Fi." Perfect. They'd land in Charleston, walk off the plane, and their phones would be dead. No Uber apps. No Instagram stories. No calling me to fix it. "One more thing," the rep added. "This will reduce your monthly bill by $98. Almost $100 a month. $1,200 a year. For 8 years, that was nearly $10,000 on phones alone. Next was the car insurance. I'd been paying $280 monthly to insure Maya's SUV, the white Honda Pilot she'd picked out 2 years ago. "I love it baby, it's so perfect for the kids," she'd said, kissing my cheek at the dealership while I signed the financing papers that put me another $30,000 in debt. I called the insurance company. "I need to remove a vehicle from my policy." The agent pulled up my account. "The 2023 Honda Pilot?" "Yes." "May I ask why you're removing it?" I paused. Through my office window, I could see the parking garage where that same SUV sat, because Maya had taken an Uber to the airport. Using my credit card, of course. The one I just canceled. "I'm no longer financially responsible for that vehicle or its driver," I said. The agent was quiet for a moment. "Understood, sir. The vehicle will be removed effective immediately. Please note that driving without insurance is illegal in New Jersey." I hung up and pulled up my landlord's email. Dennis Kowalski, a 60-something Polish guy who owned 4 buildings in our neighborhood. Good guy. Fair. We'd met for coffee once when I renewed the lease 2 years ago. He told me then, quietly, something I'd almost forgotten until now. When Maya and I first applied for this apartment 3 years ago, Dennis ran both our credit scores. Mine was 720. Hers was 510. "I can't lease to her," Dennis had said, looking uncomfortable. "Too much risk. Unpaid medical bills, defaulted credit cards, a repossessed car. But if you sign a loan, we're good." I'd signed. Maya never knew the lease was only in my name. She assumed we were both on it. She'd never even read the damn thing. I typed out an email. Hi Dennis, I need to terminate my lease effective 30 days from today. I'll be moving out by November 15th. I hit send before I could second guess it. His response came back in 6 minutes. Sorry to lose you as a tenant, John. You've been great. What about the other occupants? Will they be staying? I smiled at the screen. They are not on the lease. That's between you and them. Dennis replied immediately, understood. I'll send formal notice to the apartment. Good luck with everything. The eviction notice would arrive by courier on Monday. Maya wouldn't see it until she got back from Charleston on Tuesday night. She'd walk into the apartment, probably still mad that her card wasn't working, her phone was dead, and she'd find an eviction letter taped to the door. 30 days to vacate. I wondered if Eric would offer to take them in. Probably not. Eric was a weekend dad at best. A photo op father who showed up when it was convenient and vanished when it got hard. Friday evening, I left work early and drove straight to my bank. The branch was nearly empty, just one teller and a manager in a glass office. I approached the counter. I need to close my joint checking account and open a new individual account. The teller, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes, nodded. Of course. May I see your ID? I slid my license across the counter. She pulled up my account. Checking account, joint with Maya Donovan. My employer's direct deposits came in every other Friday. Maya's deposits? Zero. Ever. Not once in 8 years had she contributed a single dollar to that account. She had access. She had a debit card. She spent freely. But she never added. Only subtracted. I'll need you to fill out these forms, the teller said, handing me a clipboard. As I filled them out, I thought about the financial advisor I'd seen 6 months ago. He'd looked at my accounts and asked why I had someone with full access who never contributed. That's my girlfriend, I'd said. He'd raised an eyebrow. Not your wife. Not legally, no. He'd written something down and said, you should protect yourself. Legally, she has no claim to this money if you separate. But emotionally? People get messy. I finished the forms. The teller processed everything. Within 20 minutes, the old joint account was closed. Every dollar transferred to my new individual account. Balance on the old account, $0.00. Your new debit card will arrive in 7 to 10 business days, she said, handing me a temporary card. But this will work until then. I walked out of that bank feeling like I'd shed a second skin. My phone buzzed. Maya. A photo of her and the kids on the beach, sunset behind them. The caption, missing you baby. Wish you were here. I stared at it. No you don't, I thought. You wish my wallet was here. Saturday morning, I called a moving company. I need a team tomorrow. Sunday. I'm moving out of a 2-bedroom apartment. The dispatcher asked how much stuff. Just my things, I said. 1 bedroom of clothes, some books, my computer setup, kitchen stuff I actually use. Maybe 4 hours of work. They quoted me $800. I didn't even blink. Worth every penny. I'd already found my new place. A 1-bedroom apartment in Montclair, 40 minutes away. Smaller. Cheaper. Mine. The landlord had run my credit, smiled, and handed me the keys on Friday. You can move in any time, he'd said. I'd already paid first and last month's rent. Clean break. Sunday morning, the movers arrived at 8. 3 guys with a truck. I pointed to what was mine. My clothes from the closet. My books from the shelves. My Xbox and TV from the living room. My coffee maker, the expensive one Maya said was wasteful until she used it every single morning. My desk. My gaming chair. My laptop. My weights from the corner of the bedroom. I left everything else. Her clothes. The kids' toys scattered across their bedroom. The furniture she'd picked out from IKEA. The stuff I'd spent entire weekends assembling while she watched and offered helpful suggestions. The kitchen table where we'd never actually eaten together because she always fed the kids first and ate later while scrolling her phone. The couch where she binge-watched Netflix for 8 years. By noon, the movers were done. The apartment looked gutted. Empty spaces where my life used to be. I did one final walkthrough. In the kitchen, I left an envelope on the counter. Inside, a copy of the lease with only my name on it, and a handwritten note on my office stationery. You replaced me on a trip I paid for. I replaced you in a life you never contributed to. Good luck. Tuesday evening, Maya's flight landed back in Newark at 6:47 p.m. I know because I tracked it obsessively, sitting in my new apartment, unpacking boxes, imagining every moment of what was about to unfold. She'd grab her luggage. The kids would be tired and cranky. She'd try to call an Uber. Her phone wouldn't work. She'd try to use her card for a cab. Declined. Maybe Eric would finally pay for something. Maybe. By 8:30 p.m., my blocked call list showed 14 attempts from her number. 17 text messages I couldn't see because I'd blocked her on Saturday. She'd finally gotten home somehow. I imagined her unlocking the apartment door, stepping inside, her heels clicking on the hardwood floor. Walking through rooms that echoed now. Seeing the empty spaces. My closet bare. My side of the bathroom counter cleared. My desk gone. The living room hollow. I imagined her finding the envelope on the kitchen counter. Opening it with shaking hands. Reading my note once, twice, 3 times. Seeing the lease with only my name. Understanding finally that she'd never had the power she thought she had. That she'd been living in my world, not our world. That I'd owned everything and she'd owned nothing. My new phone, the one I'd activated on Saturday with a number she didn't have, buzzed. An email from Dennis the landlord, forwarded from Maya. She'd sent him a frantic message. There's been a mistake, my boyfriend moved out but I still live here, please disregard the eviction notice. Dennis had replied simply, the lease is solely in John Harper's name. He has terminated it. You have 28 days remaining. He'd copied me out of courtesy. 28 days. 4 weeks for her to figure out that Eric wasn't coming to save her. That her credit was too destroyed to lease anywhere decent. That she had no job, no income, no references. 3 weeks later, a process server found me at my office. He handed me a manila envelope with a court seal. Maya was suing me. I opened it in my car, reading through the legal jargon. She wanted $50,000. Back rent for 8 years. Alimony based on common law marriage. Child support for Lily and Tyler, even though they weren't my biological children and I'd never legally adopted them. Her lawyer had written a demand letter stapled to the front. Mr. Harper willfully abandoned his family and left them destitute. He has a moral and legal obligation to provide continued support. Pay the demanded amount within 30 days or face litigation. I laughed out loud in my car. Moral obligation. From the woman who replaced me with her deadbeat ex on a vacation I funded. I called my lawyer, Richard Chin, a guy I'd gone to college with who specialized in family law. Rich, I need you to destroy someone legally. I scanned and emailed him everything. The lawsuit. And then my evidence. 8 years of bank statements. Every receipt. Every bill. Every transaction showing my deposits and her withdrawals. Credit card statements proving I paid for everything. The lease in only my name. Text messages where she thanked me for taking care of everything financially. My father had been an accountant who lost his house, his savings, and his dignity in a brutal divorce. Before he died, he told me, son, if you ever live with a woman, document everything. Every receipt, every text, every bank statement. Everything. I'd listened. I kept it all. 8 years of evidence in organized folders, backed up on 3 hard drives. Rich called me back 2 hours later. John, this is the most one-sided case I've ever seen. She has 0 legal standing. You were never married. The kids aren't yours. Everything was in your name. She contributed nothing financially. This gets dismissed immediately. The court hearing lasted 20 minutes. The judge, a stern woman in her 60s, reviewed Rich's filing. She looked at Maya's lawyer with barely concealed disgust. Counselor, your client lived rent-free for 8 years, contributed no income, and is now demanding compensation from a man she's not married to for children that aren't his? Maya's lawyer stammered something about implied contracts and emotional support. The judge cut him off. Motion dismissed. Ms. Donovan, you have no legal standing. Mr. Harper owes you nothing. We're done here. Maya tried to approach me outside the courtroom. I walked past her like she was invisible. 2 days later, my new phone rang from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity got the better of me. Hello? Maya's voice, thick with tears. John, please. We need to talk. I should have hung up. Instead, I said, talk. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I'm so sorry. I love you. The kids miss you so much. Lily cries every night asking where you went. Tyler keeps asking when you're coming home. I felt something twist in my chest. I genuinely cared about those kids. But they weren't mine. They'd never been mine. You love me? I asked quietly. Or you love my wallet? That's not fair, John. You texted me that Eric was joining a trip I paid $4,200 for. You replaced me with a man who abandoned his own children for 9 years. And you think I'm being unfair? Silence. Then, where am I supposed to go? We have nowhere to live. Eric left again. He promised he'd help and then he's gone. The landlord is evicting us. I can't afford anything. I have no credit. No job. No. You should have thought about that before you treated me like an ATM with a heartbeat, I said. My voice was ice. Please, John, just, goodbye, Maya. I hung up. Blocked the number. I sat on my balcony that evening, bourbon in hand, watching the sun set over Montclair. My phone sat face up on the table. No blocked calls. No desperate messages. Just silence. Peaceful, beautiful silence. 2 months before that Charleston trip, my boss had called me into his office. John, we're opening a new division in Austin. We want you to head it. 95,000 base salary, 20,000 signing bonus, relocation package. Interested? I'd been stunned. Promoted. Real money. A fresh start. I'd planned to surprise Maya that weekend. Tell her we were moving to Texas. New house. New life. The family she always said she wanted. But then I'd watched her for a few days. Really watched. The way she looked at her phone when she thought I wasn't paying attention. The secret smiles. The late-night texts she angled away from me. I checked the phone bill. Hundreds of texts to a number I didn't recognize. I'd reverse-searched it. Eric Donovan. They'd been talking for 3 months. Planning. She was going to leave me eventually. She just needed one more vacation first. One more payday. So I'd accepted the Austin job and never told her. I'd started moving money into accounts she didn't know about. Planning my exit while she planned hers. Except I'd finished first. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Hi, I'm Sarah. We met at the gym last week. You said to text you about coffee? I smiled. Sarah. Brunette, warm laugh, worked as a teacher. We talked for 20 minutes after a spin class. She'd asked if I was seeing anyone. I'd said no, which was true. I'd been alone for 8 years, just didn't realize it. I typed back, absolutely. Saturday work for you? I deleted my wallpaper, the screenshot of Maya's text that I'd kept as a reminder. I didn't need it anymore. I raised my bourbon to the sunset. Here's to never being taken for granted again. The glass caught the light, sparkled like a promise. My phone buzzed again. Sarah had sent a coffee shop suggestion with a smiley face. I stood up, breathed in the cool evening air, and felt something I hadn't felt in 8 years. Freedom. Real, uncomplicated, beautiful freedom. Tomorrow was Saturday. A new beginning. And for the first time in forever, I couldn't wait.